Hello everyone, this is 05 and welcome to the Cobra Man Central Toy Review. And today's toy review, we're looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the Marvel Universe action figures review. And today's action figure review, we're looking at the Marvel's Greatest Battles comic packs Wave 2 that consists of Sentry and Spider-Man. Now I got this straight from a toy shop that was nearly open for a few weeks ago near my workplace for 54 ringgit and 90 cents. Now, in this comic pack itself, not only it consists of the two figures, Sentry and Spider-Man, it also includes the New Avengers comic issue number 8, which is situated at the back of the packaging. And like most comic packs, or all comic packs, the figures that they place in, they will not include any accessories or base stand at all, since the beginning of the comic pack that they released. So, it's just the two figures and the comic itself. Now, from the front packaging, you will notice the two figures and the comic at the back, and you've got nice little two artwork on Spider-Man and Sentry. Now, here's the funny part here. You notice, if I'm going to switch around, you notice the figures that are being displayed at the back here, especially when I bring it closer. You notice Spider-Man figure, his hand is doing the web slinger and hand symbol. Front part packaging shows that the hand is not even doing anything like this, but more towards to opened. When you look at Sentry's lips, especially the whole figure, it's painted very well done. But you notice the lips are being painted on the figure with that brown paint job. And this is not a paint mishap, because all of the comic packs for Sentry and Spider-Man, all of the Sentry figures' lips are all painted in dark brown for some reason. Not too sure why Hasbro decided to do that to Sentry, despite that the back of the packaging, the displayed figure that they had, don't even have anything with the dark brown, well, lips. Anyways, this is just one of the wave itself. The other one will include the Extremis Armor Iron Man and the Modern Thor, and Wolverine with Captain America. And Captain America's shield has been, well, slashed by Wolverine's claws, so it will have this 3 claw marks on the Captain America's shield. Very nicely done. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the action figures. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figures and the comic out from packaging. Now, since there's no accessories to look upon, let's take a look at Sentry's paint job. Now, Sentry's yellow uniform is not as yellow as you would see here, because you will notice it's a bit off, especially on the tie section here. It's more orangey compared to, let's say, his normal yellow uniform. I show at the back of the packaging itself. It's still alright, but it still look off. But the worst part is the lips there. And the lips are painted in dark brown paint job, and this is not a paint mishap, because all the comic packs for Sentry figure has the same thing. Not too sure why Hasbro has to do something like that. The eyes is a bit off as well. One side of the pupil's eyes is painted a bit larger compared to the other eye. So yes, he looks kind of weird. He looks like a really badly dressed drag queen for some reason. The hair is actually alright, but it's not blonde enough. It's like his hair has been dyed a little bit orange as well. Flesh tone skins are not actually painted at all, it's just pure plastic. The S here is not well done, because I see a lot of bleeding on the edges there. But at the far distance it looks alright, but when you look at close up it looks kind of weird. All the blue stuff that you're seeing, except for this section here, this section is painted, all the blue stuff like the cape and the belt and the boots, the lower boots here, is all pure plastic. Now, for the sculpt of the figure itself, the only thing new is the head sculpt, the cape and the belt. The rest of the stuff is the same thing they use for the comic packs Wrecking Crew. No difference at all. Now, the head sculpt is very nice, but the paint job just ruins everything. So I really like the head sculpt because it looks just like Bob Reynolds. We have the dark brown lipstick going on and a really weird looking eye on one side there. Other than that, the cape is actually quite nicely done. But problem with the cape is that, wow, if you're gonna, well, place this figure next to another figure in a cabinet, this is gonna, well, block, well, because the figure is gonna suck a lot of space. That's the problem. But otherwise, it's still alright. If you have a lot of space, then you just place them there, or if you have a base stand, that would be great as well. Or if you have a flight stand, that would be even greater. Now the belt itself is a separate piece that they just added onto the figure itself. There's no way you actually can remove it because it's sort of part of a body right now. Other than that, there's nothing much to talk about on the Sentry figure except really questionable choice of paint job being placed onto the figure itself. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. The head can actually go 360 degrees despite that he has long hair, and can pivot the head up and down a little bit and side to side a little bit. Now the torso here, as typical, can turn 360 degrees and pivot downwards and back and side to side. Now the shoulder joints here can turn 360 degrees and raise the arms this far. Upper bicep here turn 360 degrees. Elbow joint bend this far. Wrist joint here turn 360 degrees. Hip joints here can move forward, back a little bit and go to the sides. Double jointed knee that bend this far, and ankle joint that goes downward, upward and turn 360 degrees. You will also notice the other ankle is a bit warped on one side here. They always have this problem with the comic packs, as the figures are not really done in really good quality. And it gets even worse since the figure's leg is warped on one side. You will have to spread the legs a little bit further so he can stand. Now, if I'm gonna give a rating out of 4 Sentry here, it's great that we have Sentry to complete the Dark Avengers team. And the head sculpt is actually nice. Problem is the paint job is very questionable. It doesn't look very yellow, more towards to, well, orangey or dark yellow. The lips there is a real turn off. So to those who know how to do paint jobs, customize your own paint job, you can actually try to remove it using thinner or try to paint the lips into a proper lip color, then yes. So if I'm gonna give a rating of this, he is still not bad. Just the lip part that really threw me off, and the eyes as well, one of the eyes. So I'll give it a nice 6 out of 10. It's not that bad, it's just the choices of colors need to be improved. If the colors are improved, then it will go up to 7 or 8. Now let's take a look at Spider-Man here. Now Spider-Man shares the same mood as the black costume Spider-Man from one of the earlier comic packs. See, there's no changes at all. And like the back of the packaging, you notice that this back of the packaging, this figure's hand is shown that he's trying to shoot his web shooter, and this hand is actually opened up like so. But the mold is actually the same, so there's nothing much to talk about. But the paint job is actually really nice compared to the previous Spider-Man figure that was released on this version itself. This one is more nicer because the stripes, you can actually see the stripes more clearly, except for some parts the stripes are not being shown because there's an empty, well, line there. But the entire figure's paint job is actually not bad. Very nicely done. No paint smudges except some missing lines there. Very nicely done. I think this is one of my more favorite Spider-Man figures paint job. For articulation wise, the head can actually pivot a little bit up and down, side to side, and go 360 degrees. Also here can turn 360 degrees and pivot downwards and backwards and go side to side a little bit. Shoulder joints here turn 360 degrees and raise the arms this far. Very nice. Upper bicep here turn 360 degrees. Elbow joint bend this far. Wrist joint turn 360 degrees. Hip joints here go forward, back a little bit and go to the sides. Double jointed knee. And ankle joint that goes downward a little bit and upwards and turn 360 degrees. I would say that, surprisingly enough, despite that I don't like the character, this Spider-Man figure is actually a much more better paint job compared to the other Spider-Man figures that I actually obtained from the comic packs. The colors are more striking, and much more better in paint job compared to the previous one that I actually had. The mode is nothing spectacular, it's the same old mode. So if I'm going to give a rating of this, I would say that I'll give it a 7 out of 10, because there are some lines that is missing and it doesn't come with its, well, accessories, and that's the bad point there. But otherwise it's just the same old Spider-Man figure. So 7 out of 10 for Spider-Man and 6 out of 10 for Sentry. So I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.